Good evening and welcome to Kini News. Former Education Minister Masli Malik has announced his withdrawal from Pejuang.
Simpang Renggam MP Masli Malik has announced his exit from Dr. Mahathir Mohamad's party, Pejuang. In a statement this morning, he said that he wanted to fully concentrate on helping the rakyat that have been afflicted with COVID-19. Masli, who is the former Education Minister under the Pakatan Harapan government, said he will continue his effort for education reform through his capacity as an independent lawmaker and networking with NGOs and activists. He said, efforts for changes do not require power and position solely, but can be done with passion and opportunity, and added that he made the decision based on a detailed observation and field research on the aspirations and needs of the rakyat. Masli said that he believed the rakyat had grown nauseous with the game of power and politics by the elite politicus, and its need of politicians who focus on supporting and truly solving the adversities that they are currently facing. Questions about Masli's position in Pejuang arose when his name was absent from Pejuang's statement on Budget 2021 yesterday. Yesterday, Pejuang had said that they would need to look at the details of Budget 2021 before lending its support. In a statement, they said that giving support without looking at the details would be irresponsible. The statement was signed by Mahathir, Kubang Pasu MP Amiruddin Hamzah, Sri Gading MP Shahrudin Mat Saleh, and Jerlun MP Mukris Mahathir. For the record, Pejuang has yet to be registered as a political party, pending approval from the Registrar of Societies. Its pro-tem committee had submitted the application in August. Mahathir had announced the formation of the party in August to uphold Bersatu's original anti-corruption struggle and continue fighting against money politics. It came after he was ousted with several others from Bersatu, which is now led by Muhyiddin Yassin.
The Dewan Rakyat sitting today was cut short to just 1 p.m. to limit exposure to COVID-19 after several Dewan Negara staff members tested positive for the virus.
The Dewan Rakyat session today adjourned at 1 p.m. as a precautionary measure to limit exposure to COVID-19. De facto Law Minister Taqiyuddin Hassan had tabled the emergency motion to shorten the session after revealing that several Dewan Negara staff members tested positive for the virus. He added that Parliament had been sanitized in accordance with the SOPs and the Dewan Rakyat is also sanitized every morning.
Beberapa kaki tangan Dewan Negara telah disahkan COVID-19 dan dijangka ada ahli Dewan Negara yang kemungkinan positif kerana pegawai tersebut adalah attached kepada ahli Dewan Negara ini dan mempunyai kaitan keluarga.
Earlier this morning, all party whips and several ministers had a closed-door session with Dewan Rakyat Speaker Azhar Azizan Harun about COVID-19 precautions in light of the positive cases. Taqiyuddin said a representative from the Health Ministry was also present.
Saya bukan seorang doktor perubatan yang boleh mengesahkan perkara ini, tapi kami dinasihatkan oleh pihak Kementerian Kesihatan bahawa risikonya amat tinggi. Itu term yang digunakan. Kedudukan kita dalam keadaan yang tertutup seumpama ini, walaupun kita mempunyai cermin ini, tapi sejauh mana ianya boleh membantu kita mengelakkan penularan ini. Tetapi Kementerian Kesihatan mengatakan selebih lama kita berada bersama dalam keadaan ini, risikonya adalah amat tinggi sekali.
The motion was passed after questions from Pakatan Harapan lawmakers seeking more clarification over how long the shortened sessions will last, if a virtual parliament session could be held, and if the House could sit for additional days to make up for the lost time. In response, Taqiyuddin assured that the motion only affected today's session and said a new motion will be needed for every day the session needs to be shortened.
Past Central Committee member Nik Abdul Aziz has come to the defense of his colleague Khairuddin Aman Razali over photographs of him in public without a face mask.
Past Central Committee member Nik Abdul Aziz has defended his colleague Khairuddin Aman Razali. This is after the Kuala Nerus MP came under fire over photographs of him in public without a face mask. In a Facebook post today, Nik Abdul said that when he was asked on the matter by his friend, he had told them that it was good that Khairuddin did not wear a mask, as he's showing the differences between crowded places where the mask is required and non-crowded places where it is not. He also urged the public not to be influenced by those from Pakatan Harapan who were deliberately spreading photographs of ministers without a mask. He said they are trying to dumb down the minds of the public, and added that praise and criticism must be based on the truth. Khairuddin, who is the Minister for Plantation Industries and Commodities, had curted flack online from several photographs of him being the only person without a mask while mingling with the public. In August, he was fined 1,000 ringgit for allegedly breaching the Control of Infectious Diseases Act 1988. However, the Attorney General's chambers later concluded that he did no wrong. They said, from 14B, as prescribed in Health Ministry guidelines, which contain an order for home surveillance and/or observation orders under subsection 15.1 of Act 342, was not issued to Khairuddin before he was allowed to leave quarantine.
Former UMNO Supreme Council member Lokman Nor Adam was arrested yesterday and has been remanded for a day.
Former UMNO Supreme Council member Lokman Nor Adam has been remanded for a day to facilitate a probe into criminal intimidation against the Prime Minister. In a statement today, Bukit Aman CID Director Huzair Muhammad said the investigation followed a police report against him for uploading a video via Facebook which has the elements of intimidating and using explicit words against the leadership of the Prime Minister. Lokman was arrested by a police team at a restaurant near the Putra World Trade Center at around 11 p.m. yesterday, while he was broadcasting a talk about Budget 2021 via Facebook Live. Towards the end of his video, Lokman was seen looking off the camera and said that several police officers had come for him.
Malam ni saya didatangi oleh beberapa orang anggota polis. Saya tak tahu apa benda yang mereka mahukan. Jadi saya rasa malam ni cukuplah. Kalau tidak dia orang tunggu lama sangat, dia orang dah tunggu lama dah.
In a Facebook post later, he said that he had been detained under Section 506 of the Penal Code. Section 506 deals with criminal intimidation. The police said that Lokman was also being probed under Section 233 of the Communications and Multimedia Act 1998 and Section 14 of the Minor Offences Act 1955 for insulting behavior. In a statement, they said they had also seized a gadget from him, believed to have been used to upload the said video.
The Health Ministry reported 834 new COVID-19 cases and 900 recoveries in the 24-hour period ending noon today.
Malaysia recorded 834 new cases of COVID-19 today. 3 of the cases were imported. The imported cases involved 1 Malaysian and 2 foreigners travelling from the United States, India, and Indonesia. Out of the 831 local cases, Sabah continued to report the highest number of new cases with 503. In the Klang Valley regions, Selangor recorded 129 cases and Kuala Lumpur had 20 new cases. This was followed by Labuan with 105 cases and Penang with 21. 2 new deaths were reported today, bringing the death toll from COVID-19 in Malaysia to 251. All newly reported deaths were from Sabah. The cumulative death toll from Sabah alone is at 119. There were 91 patients in intensive care, with 32 requiring ventilator support.
Still to come, England is set to go back into lockdown as a second wave of infections threatened to overwhelm the health service. All this and more after the break. Prime Minister Boris Johnson ordered England back into a national lockdown after the United Kingdom passed the milestone of 1 million COVID-19 cases.
After resisting the prospect of a new national lockdown for most of last month, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson announced on Saturday that new restrictions across England would kick in after midnight on Thursday morning and last until December 2nd. This came as the United Kingdom passed the milestone of 1 million COVID-19 cases and a second wave of infections threatened to overwhelm the health service. The United Kingdom, which has the biggest official death toll in Europe from COVID-19, is grappling with more than 20,000 new coronavirus cases a day, and scientists have warned a worst-case scenario of 80,000 dead could be exceeded this winter.
And so now is the time to take action because there is no alternative. And from Thursday until the start of December, you must stay at home. You may only leave home for specific reasons, including for education, for work, let's say if you cannot work from home, for exercise and recreation outdoors with your household or on your own with one person from another household, for medical reasons, appointments, and to escape injury or harm, to shop for food and essentials, and to provide care for vulnerable people or as a volunteer.
Under the new lockdown measures in England, essential shops, schools, and universities will remain open. But pubs and restaurants will be shut, apart from takeaways, and all non-essential retail will close. Although the lockdown is set until December 2nd, when asked if a lockdown could be extended beyond early December, Senior Cabinet Minister Michael Gove told Sky News yes. According to the Times, several cabinet ministers have also hinted that it could extend to next year, with the government considering a brief relaxation over the Christmas period. The cabinet ministers say they believed it would be very difficult to end the lockdown if coronavirus-related deaths and hospital admissions were still rising, the newspaper reported. The new lockdown announcement came 10 days after Johnson told Parliament it would make no sense at all to turn the lights out with a full national lockdown. Critics have accused him of hesitating at the expense of both lives and economy.
British media reported on Sunday that Prince William contracted COVID-19 back in April.
Britain's Prince William reportedly contracted COVID-19 in April at a similar time to his father, Prince Charles. That's according to the Sun newspaper, which reported on Sunday that William kept it a secret to avoid alarming the nation. The grandson of Queen Elizabeth was reportedly treated by palace doctors and followed government guidelines by isolating at home in Norfolk. According to The Sun, a palace source said William was hit pretty hard by the virus. At one stage, he was struggling to breathe, and everyone around him was pretty panicked. The BBC also reported the news, but as of Sunday, the palace has not yet commented on the reports. The residence of William's father, Prince Charles, said on March 25th that Charles had tested positive for the coronavirus. The heir to the throne self-isolated at his residence in Scotland for 7 days with mild symptoms. Britain has been hard hit by the global health crisis and has reported nearly 47,000 deaths from COVID-19. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson had also tested positive for the virus and was admitted to hospital in April. He credited the healthcare workers for saving his life.
Well, that's all we have time for. For more stories, you can go to KiniTV.com. You can also get the latest news from us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. Remember to wear your mask when you go out, and also please observe social distancing. I'm Daniel Anthony. Thank you for watching. And once again, stay safe, Malaysia.